A former NFL player is joining thousands of people suing the company behind Roundup, a popular weed killer with a chemical link to cancer. In a lawsuit made public yesterday, 54-year-old Merril Hoge says he developed non-Hodgkin's lymphoma as a direct result of being exposed to the herbicide. The company behind Roundup says its product does not cause cancer. Meg Oliver spoke to Hoge and is across the river from Cincinnati in Newport, Kentucky. Meg, good morning.
Good morning. A series of brain injuries forced Hoge to retire from football in 1994, but he says he's always been extremely health conscious, avoiding drugs and alcohol. That's why for him, his cancer diagnosis, he says, was especially shocking. As a running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers for 7 years, Merril Hoge is used to taking on tough opponents on the gridiron.
All right.
But he says his biggest challenge was beating cancer, which involved intense chemotherapy.
You can feel it really literally scream through your veins, hit every part of your body, the burns, the hair loss, the fatigue of it all.
Hoge was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma back in 2003 and was declared cancer-free 5 years later. But he says he only recently realized his diagnosis could be related to exposure to the weed killer Roundup, which he first used in the late 70s while working on an Idaho ranch. So did it get on your skin? Did it get on your clothes? I mean, what was it like?
Well, listen, I've been using Roundup forever, but I didn't wear gloves. We weren't told to wear gloves or a mask.
Hoge is now suing Monsanto, which is owned by Bayer, claiming Roundup caused him life-threatening cancer, permanent injuries, physical pain, and mental anguish. How do you know it's Roundup that caused your cancer?
Well, the only thing I can tell you is talking to doctors, that's the first thing.
And what'd they tell you?
They're like, were you ever around a pesticide or stuff with chemicals like Roundup? I'm like, shared my farm story.
Joseph Osborne is Hoge's attorney.
This will be a jury trial. We will be seeking recovery for Mr. Hoge.
And how much would you estimate that would be?
It could be in the millions of dollars.
The lawsuit claims Roundup is dangerous to human health and unfit to be marketed and sold. In 2015, the International Agency for Research on Cancer classified Roundup's active ingredient, glyphosate, as a probable cause of cancer. What's it like for you when you go into your local hardware store and you see Roundup on the shelves?
Oh my gosh. How can it be there and still exposed to people without them knowing it?
Hoge is one of more than 18,000 plaintiffs who allege exposure to glyphosate caused them cancer or other injuries. Bayer has lost 3 court cases with damages totaling more than $190 million. In a statement to CBS News, Bayer says, "We have great sympathy for any individual with cancer, but the extensive body of science on glyphosate-based herbicides over 4 decades supports the conclusion that Roundup does not cause non-Hodgkin's lymphoma." The Environmental Protection Agency says the chemical posed no risks of concern for people exposed to it. Even though Hoge is now cancer-free, he says this lawsuit is about more than just him.
I am about how we make things better for our kids. And if I know that something's being done wrong that is absolutely harmful to our kids and we can change it, then I'm going to try to change it.
Hoge still lives in fear his cancer could return and he could face delayed side effects from years of treatment. Anthony?
Meg, another big battle for Bayer. Thank you very much.